Good evening, everyone. It's been several weeks since I've done a lengthier talk via Facebook Live. I've been focusing primarily on my Saulle 60-second sales tips. But tonight's topic came to me as I was tossing and turning last night after the Penguins' heartbreaking loss in overtime. And I thought it was the perfect way to pay tribute to a woman that means the world to me. And it will be archived forever, which is great, so future Saulles will be able to see it years from now. And that woman, of course, would be my mother, Janet Saulle. So here's my idea. I thought it might be interesting to showcase the lessons my mom taught me about life, love, and money, and how these lessons have helped shape me as a husband, a father, and a businessman. So without any further ado, here are Janet Saulle's top 10 life lessons in no particular order. Number 1, pay yourself first. Ever since I got my very first job, making a whopping $21,000 per year, my mother preached this mantra. Always make sure you put money in your savings, your 401k, and your children's college fund before you do anything else. That dream vacation, the new car, they can wait. Pay yourself first. It stuck, and it has made a significant difference in my life financially. In part 2, never pay interest on a credit card. Always pay the monthly balance off. I know that one's easier said than done, but that's a game changer. Number 2, cookies and milk at the kitchen table right after school is pretty much the greatest thing ever, and it rights a lot of wrongs. Now I realize in retrospect it wasn't so much the cookies and milk, but it was having my mother sit down with me after a tough day and let me talk about how my day went without interrupting, without judging. It's amazing how much better you feel when you can unload the baggage of your day. It's a good lesson for all us fathers and husbands out there. Number 3, this isn't a new one. You guys have heard me do this on a Saulle 60-second sales tip. Always send a handwritten thank you note. It's a huge one. It applies to everything. I pass this on to my daughters. If you truly want to make a lasting positive impact on someone, always take the time to send a handwritten thank you note. Especially in this day of email, people love getting a surprise card in the mail. Number 4, in deference to Eleanor Roosevelt, my mom always said, nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. Now I realize this one is easier said than done, especially given how cruel kids and sadly adults can be. But when you hear it enough, it starts to permeate your subconscious. And guess what? You start to believe it, and it changes everything. Number 5, if you make a commitment, don't break it. I've implemented this one personally and professionally. I rarely, if ever, go back on my word. And if I say I'm going to be somewhere or I'm going to do something, it happens. And I'll tell you what, it makes a huge difference when people know they can count on you. And conversely, you can sully your reputation pretty quickly by not following this life lesson. Number 6, don't be late. Now this is the not so distant cousin of number 5, which is keeping your commitments, and they go hand in hand. If someone is routinely late, they're probably the same people who miss appointments or break commitments. You know, I've always embraced this lesson because of how much I hate when other people are late. So much so that I've embraced Lombardi time, which is in deference to Vince Lombardi, the famed football coach for the Green Bay Packers, who said, if you're going to arrive somewhere, always arrive 15 minutes before the scheduled time. Number 7, don't prejudge people, and always smile, be nice, and treat people with love, kindness, and respect. Now, I can't say I always do this one, but I make a conscious effort to try. It's a simple concept. It's probably one of the biggest issues that face us as a society. And I found it served me incredibly well in the business world because it's opened so many doors and built so many amazing relationships. And the best part is invariably people end up treating me exactly the same way, which sounds a lot like the golden rule. So my mother was ahead of her time. Number 8, you're going to wonder where this one's coming from, but be neat and always put your clothes away. Now this is a tough one, especially in college and when I was a bachelor, but it's so much easier to be tidy than to spend hours cleaning up after yourself. Furthermore, it's going to alleviate stress. It's going to be a positive reflection on you as a person. I mean, think about it. Are your dress shirts ironed? Is your car clean on the inside and out? Minor things maybe, but people are going to make snap judgments about you based on these visual cues. Number 9, you must know the difference between right and wrong and consequences to your actions. Now, this is a poignant lesson. It applies to kids, teens, and adults, and it's true in school, business, and in social settings. You know, my experience with this lesson is typically people know the right decision, but more often than not, they make the wrong one, but we're stunned when something bad happens. And believe me when I tell you, and those of you out there who know me personally, know that I've made many bad decisions. Too many to count probably, and they usually ended badly. Nothing catastrophic, thank goodness. But what I did is I learned from them, and the next time, I made a better choice. So Mom, I apologize for all the undue stress I caused you over the years. And finally, number 10, don't quit. Now, I know every parent has told every child this exact same thing since the beginning of the time, but this was a mantra with my mother. There were so many times in my life, young and old, when I wanted to throw in the proverbial towel. She wouldn't let me. She wouldn't even hear it. She believed in me, told me that I accomplish anything I want in life if I stay committed and don't give up. It wasn't always what I wanted to hear, but she was right every single time. And I never once regretted sticking it out, because more times than not, the end result was worth all the pain and frustration. So I'm going to try not to get emotional, but I want to thank all of you for indulging me this evening to talk about the profound impact that my mom, Janet, has had on my life. And I hope that maybe you picked up a pearl or two that you can apply to your own lives, maybe even starting tomorrow. So if you did, don't thank me, thank my mom, because I wouldn't be where I am today or who I am today without her. So Mom, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything. Good night, everyone, and happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there.